New Mexico, what's up? Yes, we have another week of the U Sports Report. Khalil A. Colonna, Kimbry Temple. We've got Tyler Ortega coming up with all the information you need on that very exciting national championship game. But Kimbry, on Friday, April 1st, we had a fooling that surprised everybody in the NBA.
Awesome, we did. And I thought, personally, it was an April Fool's joke, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it was not.
Definitely not an April Fool's joke. And Golden State. All right, we're going to take you guys around the nation for some NBA action. This was an absolutely amazing game.
It was, and unfortunately for Golden State, Boston was on their A game.
Boston was ready to go. That's right, the Boston Celtics at the Golden State Warriors. Getting into action coming up. Steph Curry grabbing the rebound, doing what he does behind the back, so nice and smooth. Looked like me in 7th grade.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, oh yeah, I could shoot. I still can. It's awesome. All right, we're getting back into it. The game is pretty close. Fourth quarter, Harrison Barnes with a big three to make it a 1-point game. 10.2 seconds left. Evan Turner talking it over with the team. Beautiful inbounds play. Isaiah Thomas gets through, coming in with the layup. Big time play. And that's something that really frustrates coaches when there's a breakdown on inbound defense.
Sure, I agree completely. And here we see Steph Curry. We can confirm he is a human and does not make every shot.
That's right. Most notably, right there. He misses, ladies and gentlemen. Harrison Barnes got nothing on the putback. And you heard it correct. You didn't hear it first here, but you heard it correctly here. The Golden State Warriors lost at home. Yes, they lost at home. 109-106. The loss snaps Golden State's 54-game home winning streak, which was a record in the NBA. Starting off with Boston and some of their stats, Evan Turner with 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Jared Sullinger added 20 points, 12 rebounds, and their main man, their leader, Isaiah Thomas, 22 points, 6 big-time assists.
Absolutely. We have Golden State with Steph Curry, 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Klay Thompson with 15.6 and 16, and Green with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. So they weren't on their A game, but they definitely were playing very strong.
They played strong. Most notably, the other splash brother, Klay Thompson, 6 for 16 from the field. They need him. If he made 1 or 2 or more of those shots, Golden State pulls off a win. But alas, you can't win them all. So if Golden State wins their remaining games, they can best the Bulls' record of 72 record wins. Okay, moving along to the second best team in the NBA and the second best team in the West, the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Toronto Raptors. That's right, the Spurs playing hard, playing well. These guys are just, I think it's going to be a really tough matchup for Golden State in the playoffs should they run.
I could not agree more. San Antonio has put a mark on the NBA for themselves. And here's Greg Popovich, one of the most difficult people in the world to please.
Oh, yes. Very difficult to please. He's letting Patty Mills know, hey, I hire you to shoot threes, not to let other people score them. San Antonio was in control for most of this game, but Kawhi Leonard coming through, really allowing them to pull out very strong. So the San Antonio Spurs are absolutely making it happen with the combination of Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really something difficult to defend. Kawhi Leonard, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. LaMarcus Aldridge, 31 points, 15 rebounds. These guys are, what did you call them? The not so secret superhero duo.
They are very strong and doing big things for San Antonio.
That's right. That's right. Okay, moving on to the Eastern Conference. Most people say, the Eastern Conference isn't as exciting as the West, but you got LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers doing their thing, and they're taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Now, what's important about this, it could be a potential playoff matchup. So the outcome of these remaining games will really let you know how these teams will match up in the next couple weeks.
All right, let's take it.
Let's take a look at this absolutely exciting game, probably the most exciting game of the weekend outside of the Golden State loss. Yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Atlanta Hawks, and there he is, LeBron, one of his 9 assists, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron still getting it done at both levels, playing hard. Both of these teams kept looking at each other. Yes, this game went into overtime. LeBron's got the ball up top, and that's really tough. LeBron to Tristan Thompson, for a nice little dunk coming through. 6 seconds left. They're pulling it up. Cleveland's up 110 to 108. Al Horford for the win, just off. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Horford, that was kind of typical of the night he has. And the Cleveland Cavaliers win 110-108 in overtime. LeBron James leads the way, 29 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist away from getting a triple-double that Ice Cube so famously talks about. Kyrie Irving with 20.6 rebounds, 7 assists, and Kevin Love with 15.6 rebounds. The big three are really starting to come together and gel at this crucial time.
They're looking really strong, and like you said, unified. They've got a lot of talent, and if they can keep that gel continuously throughout the remainder of the season, they might be hard to beat.
They may be hard to beat, particularly if they start listening to the coach. That's always
There you
helps.
go. That's what it takes.
That's something else. All right, so that was a quick wrap up on some of the NBA games, but this was a great weekend because something happened also this weekend. That was the opening of something. Do you know?
Opening day, and I saw a meme on Facebook. If you say opening day for what, you're no friend of mine. The MLB came back this weekend.
Baseball is back in a major way. Look, I'm ready for some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
All right.
It's going to be a great season, and we're going to kick off our coverage of baseball. The first baseball game we cover this year, it's a milestone, ladies and gentlemen. St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates coming through. Here we are, the bottom of the fifth. Pittsburgh already up 2-0. Now, if you say, oh, this is the first game of the year and it doesn't mean anything, just remember, last year, Pittsburgh and St. Louis fought till the bitter end for the divisional championship. So these games mean absolutely everything, Kimberly.
They sure do, and anybody who says that they don't doesn't know very much about baseball or really sports in general. It can be a make or break situation in the very first game of the year.
That's right. The first game of the year, Pittsburgh gets the win 4-1. The winning pitcher, Laureano, coming through with the complete game. David Freese was 2 for 4, playing pretty big. And Wainwright for St. Louis gets the loss, although Carpenter and Molina tried the best that they could. Now, we had another game on opening weekend, 3 games actually on opening day. Now,
Sure.
This was the Toronto Blue Jays, that's exciting team that hits home runs and gets everybody riled up, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, who in the American League are really trying to make a name for themselves this season.
They sure are, and we talked about this before the show, Tyler and I, and he thinks Toronto might take it all the way. So if this game is any note to that, it just might mean something.
That can help, and it definitely helps with Troy Tulowitzki hitting dingers the way he did. And the starting pitching and the defense for Toronto was not as strong as it was for Tampa Bay. They tried to do what they could, but they just absolutely, they couldn't pull it off. But they did. They made it happen with a nice, strong win. We had Stroman coming through with the win, Osuna with the save, Troy Tulowitzki 1 for 3 with that aforementioned home run, Edward Encarnacion coming through 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs.
We sure did. Tampa Bay had Archer 0-1,
Yeah.
Longoria 2 for 4 with 1 RBI, and Dickerson 1 for 4 with 1 home run. Home runs all over the place in this game.
Yes, home runs all over the place. Well, Toronto's that team. They got Joey Bats. They got Troy Tulowitzki. These guys could pull it off. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap up for the first part of this exciting edition of the U Sports Report. We got Tyler Ortega coming through with the national championship breakdown. If you didn't see that game, well, you better talk to somebody because you missed something special. We'll be right back on the U Sports Report.